Hey guys, Chris here. In today's video, me and my friend Volvo Christian, we're gonna do a test drive, a review, a first look at this, the brand new Jeep Avenger, Jeep's first and only so far electric car, but with many more to come. So this may be a very early look at, the future of Jeep and where we can see them moving forward. I've had this car on loan for almost a week now, done a little bit of videos, done a little bit of testing, and every time I've sent my friend Christian here a snap or whatever about this car, he's just been hating on it. And I'm like, okay, fine. So instead of writing long messages to me about how much you don't like this car, why don't we make a video on it instead? Because I actually like this car a lot. And I'm hoping at the end of the video that I'm going to change Christian's mind. So you want to give us your first, your 2 cents
my
on...
quick 2 cents. I think this is a disgrace to the Jeep brand. This is an absolute disgrace. This is going to be the first and last electric Jeep because no one will buy this.
Okay, so I think we disagree a little bit here, so I think we're going to have a little bit of fun in today's video. If you don't know who Christian is here, he's called Volvo Christian on YouTube, on Instagram, and he does YouTube and Instagram stuff. Drives a cool, or several Volvos actually. And if you like the content here, go check his stuff out. It will be linked in the description box down below. So, Christian, I think the exterior of this actually is pretty attractive. I like the front end. It looks like a Jeep. It has, the 7 slots. And it's kind of, upright. We have ground clearance, actually 20 centimeters of ground clearance here. We have very short overhangs on the front and on the rear. So we have very, a good departure and attack angles. So, I think it looks like a Jeep, but what is your thought about the looks? If we try to do this segment-wise, break down why you hate it.
Okay, the looks, you kind of have some Cherokee vibes going on.
Jeep Cherokee, okay.
Jeep Cherokee, but yeah, you got the 7 slots, but it looks like a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep. But design...
Okay, but don't focus on,
design,
it looks like a Jeep. It, it quacks like a chicken, it looks like a chicken, it has to be a chicken, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I see so many different cars in this, like Opel and Peugeot, I don't know.
Okay, so you're thinking about, this car's relatives.
Yeah.
This is built on the STLA platform, the Stellantis common platform for small electric cars. So this is closely related to the Peugeot E208, E2008 and those cars, and so you're like thinking about those cars when we're talking about...
The front is kind of Jeep, but the side and the rear looks kind of weird in my eyes.
So you don't think, if you come over here to where I'm standing, from where I'm standing, right over here, right? We have the car in profile, and I think this is actually a very good angle because you get those, you get the square shapes, you get that classic, box design. It's upright. You have the ground clearance. You have, the wheel arches.
Yeah.
And the balloon tires. I mean, but you're not sold.
Not on the side and the rear. The front is okay, but you have this. Isn't it like Honda thing with the handles up here?
Well, you can say what you want about door handles when they're hidden. Is it practical? Is it a design choice? Does it work? It works.
Yeah, it works.
I don't mind it. I mean, you could nitpick. The rear end, though.
Straight from the rear, it's kind of, I don't know. It looks kind of weird for me.
It looks weird?
The plastic, plastic. I don't know.
Well, it is a Jeep, right? And it's like a small Jeep. Jeep have been making cheap cars for several decades now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not the most popular here. I mean, here in Norway and in Northern Europe and Scandinavia, we're very familiar with, Wranglers are popular, Cherokees and Grand Cherokees, but they've had, the Compass, they've had, all of these cheaper entry-level cars that, traditionally in the US started at less than $20,000, right?
Yeah.
So some plastic cladding, but it's a cheap car.
It's a cheap.
This, fully spec, this car here is less than 400,000 kroners in Norway.
Starting price?
No, fully spec'd. This here, I don't know if this is Summit or if it's the mid-trim because Jeep didn't tell me.
I think it was like $399.
No. This is like $388 fully spec'd, the top trim one. You can get it from 350,000, WLTP range of 400 kilometers, 100 kilowatts of peak charging speed, front electric motor, and this is I think your biggest contention, that is front wheel drive. But Jeep have made front wheel drive cars for decades now, right? The cheap Jeeps we're talking about. And 156 horsepower, so it's actually quite sprightly. It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Maybe, okay, but design is from 0 to 10 is like 5, maybe. 5.
Okay, so 5. So, but what's your favorite part? Front?
Front.
Side? Okay,
definitely
so front.
I think that's the best and only acceptable angle, because you have these, these 7 slots.
Yeah, the slots.
The Jeep style.
And I don't think this is. Do you have the key on you? You want to check out if this has a frunk?
Oh yeah, the key
Yeah,
is.
the key is in there.
In there. Let's see.
Open up. Maybe there's a frunk.
Do-do. Bing bong.
Yeah,
bing,
that's
bong.
the typical, Stellantis platform.
Where's
And then
the-
you have here
where's the
Jeep
hatch?
Performance LED.
Performance.
Yeah.
Where's the hatch?
The thing.
The thing. Where's
yeah.
the thing, Chris? Where's the thing?
I don't know. I've never opened up the front before.
I thought it was double latch, but. Oh, this is a Jeep for dummies.
Yeah, you got to do it one more time.
I don't know. I did it twice. It's like a party in here.
Well, if you bend down, right there, on your knees.
Oh, we have it. Maybe.
On your knees, Christian.
Get
On your
down
knees.
on your knees and tell me you love me.
Come
I
on, I
love
thought you were
fucking hate you. Oh,
an expert.
stupid
Okay.
ass. I'm an expert.
Okay. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's a cheap car. It's a cheap car, keeping costs low. So it's not. There's no gas stress here to keep up the hood, but there's no frunk.
No.
No frunk at all. We have the 12-volt battery here. We have
I don't know
washer
what we have.
fluid over
Yeah.
here. We have, brake fluid, coolants and stuff like that. This is coolant over there, and then brake fluid is here. Yeah. Jumper start. I mean, you can do if you want to jump start the 12-volt battery, you have connectors here.
I don't know.
Yeah. Plus.
I really don't know, man.
No.
This-
So
this
not
isn't
let us
my-
see. Maybe we'll check out the trunk then. You're going to
can
be
do
impressed by
do
the
some
trunk.
push-ups.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Okay. So what more do you want?
Okay,
To
so this is, I was surprised when I did this the first time. Check this out.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. Electric tailgate on a small and cheap car. I mean, that's not too bad. I
okay,
got to
okay.
check out the new Mini in Germany, but
Yeah.
the video is not going up because the audio wasn't there when me and Kyle filmed it. That car didn't have an electric tailgate, and it's more expensive than this.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The EX30 also. No, it has electric, but not kick opening.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but.
Yeah. So jump in the front
Okay.
seat.
So we are done with the design.
Yeah, we're
right?
done with the exterior. You don't like it. I would give it like for what it is, solid 9 out of 10.
But are we going to talk about the name, Avenger?
No, I don't know.
Or as I said in the start,
Yeah?
I think this is a disgrace to the Jeep brand. And this is a testament to what's okay, I'm sorry. This is a testament to what's wrong with our car industry. Like 10, 15 years ago, Porsche
Yeah.
made the Cayenne SUV. They were like a sports car brand.
Yeah?
But we kind of accepted it eventually.
Sure.
Because it was a means to an end. They needed the Cayenne in order to make 911s.
Sure, sure.
And
Makes
that was
sense.
a clever decision. It's a, I don't know, money machine.
Yeah,
It sells
sure.
like
I
shit.
mean, they're best selling
Yeah.
that in the Macan, like
So-
by a good margin.
And you could say it's a sports SUV, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah, this is probably the best driving one. And then you get
Yeah.
into like the coupe versions, the turbo GTs are like amazing.
Definitely. And then we have Lotus. They made the Electra.
Sure.
And for die-hard Lotus fan, that is not a Lotus. It's a fat-ass SUV. It's not a Lotus, but I love the Electra, and I also think it's a means to an end.
Sure.
They need the Electra to make a new Emira or some fancy small and light sports car. But what are this? What's
What
the
this
purpose
is?
of this? So, are this gonna save Jeep? I think this. I can't see the folk.
So you don't see the purpose
I
of
don't
this.
see the purpose. That's
Well,
the word.
imagine
What
that-
is the purpose of this car?
You live in Oslo, or you live in Rome, maybe you live in Barcelona, maybe you live in Lisboa, some city old European city with history, and that means small, tight streets and rough roads, right? Cobblestone roads and streets everywhere, ground clearance, nicely damped suspension, balloon tires, and a small size. This isn't even 4.1
Yeah.
meters long. I mean, the EX30 is like an EX90 compared to this.
Yeah. But what does this car have that the other cars don't have?
Well-
What makes this a Jeep?
Then
What's the
let's
purpose of this?
Hop into the interior, go into the driver's
I
seat,
will go to the driver's seat.
and take a look.
Oh, yeah, man. Let's see.
Because it's actually quite nice. I like
Bing
this.
bong, bing bong, bing bong.
It's banging and bonging
Start
because
this.
the lights are on.
Okay.
Parking lights.
Parking lights. Yeah, manual.
Sure, I mean it's a cheap car, right?
Yeah,
The
so-
cars you're talking about, the Electra and the Cayenne, we're talking about cars that are 100,000 to
Yeah.
200,000 to 300,000 euros,
But
right?
they serve a purpose
Mhm.
either way. I can't see what the purpose of this. It's a Jeep that's not a Jeep. And the name Avenger. It's like, I don't know. You remember when Ford made, they launched this Mustang Mach-E?
Yeah, sure.
Mustang,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not a Mustang.
Well, it's
It's
a
a-
Mustang Mach-E.
No, this is dumbest name ever on this battery toy.
Well, I
Okay.
think you're too hung up on the names instead of the try to
Yeah.
isolate the names and the product.
You know,
What do you think about this interior? I'm gonna try. We're gonna like if this is gonna be
The
less than an
interior?
hour. This video, we
Okay.
gotta move along.
interior, yeah, it's kind of okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
sit nice.
good driving
everything-
position.
Yeah, adjustable armrest.
Yeah?
Yeah. I sit pretty nice.
So I have to say the infotainment system is a lot better than anything I've tested from Stellantis
Yeah.
earlier. It's a huge improvement. You have a lot of physical buttons. You have, physical climate buttons. It's practical. There's a lot of room here.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, headroom is great, knee room, leg room, and then you look forward, right? And you have that square Jeep hood. I like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Start button. Yeah, it's pretty nice with these physical buttons, I have to say. So it looks kind of nice from inside.
For me, I think the only thing is the rear seats are a bit tight, but it's again a very small car, less than 4.1 meters long.
Yeah. Okay, interior are nice. Yeah,
Okay,
I have to say.
so
That's
let's
pretty good.
take this out for a test drive then, and maybe you'll change your mind. But are you warming up a little bit to
No.
this car? No, not at all. Okay, great, awesome.
Not at all.
Okay, we are
Okay.
now inside
Yeah.
the Jeep
The
Avenger.
Jeep Avenger.
Los Jeep Avenger. In French, Le Jeep Avenger. In German, Das Jeep Avenger.
You call it Jeep, I call it a Peugeot.
Well,
Push and go. Push and go.
push and go, push and
and
go.
go.
So I actually think this car is pretty decent to drive.
Did you hear that?
What? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna.
This is a Whitmick Jeep.
Yeah. So I actually don't like the blinker sound of this. It's really weird. The first few meters I drove this car, I'm like, what's that sound? There's something wrong. There's something going on, and it's just it's just the blinker sound. But other than that, I mean, it's not. There's nothing that annoys me about this car. Infotainment system is pretty good, as I said. Physical climate, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the button, the shifter, the PRND being buttons.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing, but it's okay. I mean, it's a cheap car, right?
Yeah, but I think it's better to have it on a stock because then you
Yeah.
have the window wiper stock and the lights. Yeah, I kind of like this.
Okay, so you actually like that?
Yeah, because I don't like this EX30 thing to have the gear
Makes sense.
selector on the stock
Mm-hmm.
because then you have to have a combined stock on the other side with both the window
Yeah.
and blinkers.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But at least it has stalks.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the other car, on the electric one.
Which
Tesla
other
3.
electric one?
Tesla
oh yeah,
3.
Tesla Model 3 doesn't have any
Yeah,
stocks.
talk about
at
cost
all.
savings.
Yep.
No stocks at all. So
No stocks at all.
So I think it's good.
I'm just struggling with this mount here, just wanting to swivel. So don't go too fast, okay?
No.
Just drive slowly and carefully.
Will do, boss. Will do.
Will do.
Will do.
So I mean, it's a small car.
Yeah.
It's a city car. It's a cheap car, and I understand the sentiment that you may have this image, and a lot of people, like not just you, but a lot of people have this image of what a Jeep is
Yeah.
supposed to be, right?
And that's the problem actually,
Mhm.
because in my head, Jeep are off-road cars.
Yeah, sure.
Because if I close my eyes and someone says, think of a Jeep,
Mm-hmm.
then I go back to my childhood, like MacGyver with the Wrangler and all over the place.
Sure.
And this doesn't fit that thought. But you want car brands to develop and maybe move into other types of niches. But I don't know. Lotus went SUV, and are this their new Jeep? I don't know. Maybe it's room for this also in the Jeep portfolio, but I don't know. I'm struggling big time with that. I think Jeep are off-road brand, and this they could, or they had the opportunity to make a pretty wicked off-road Jeep electric. And this is just generic, just a generic electric car. It's like an open mocka in a Jeep costume.
So this is interesting because I totally disagree with that last statement, because I look at it like a Opel Mokka, which is the same thing underneath, same electric motor, same drivetrain. It looks completely different to this on the outside. Like, considering what you can work with, because it's a small car, the dimensions, and you know, just the stance and the overall image of the car, I think these two are completely different, but they cost the same. So if it was me, for my money, I think this is a fun car. Like, it's fun. Prior to driving this, you know, I daily, for people who don't know, I drive a very serious electric car, a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo. And I've driven a few 911s this week. I've driven a brand new 911 Ford GTS. I've driven a 911 4S. I've driven a 991.1 DT3.
Proper cars.
No, like real serious,
Serious car,
expensive sports cars. And I'm like hopping back into this, and I'm like, this is fun. So for me at least, like being able to enjoy different things and not thinking too much about, because I mean, if this was like twice the price, if this was 50 or 60,000 euros, 500,000-600,000 kroner, I would totally get it. But how much fun can you get for starting price of around 35,000 euros? I mean, you can get a nicely spec'd one of these on the road for less than 40,000, and that's
totally.
For me, it's like, that's in front of us. We have a Peugeot E2008. It's a good car, but it's not fun.
Okay,
this is fun.
Yeah, maybe it's fun, but is it a Jeep?
Yes, it's a fun
That's
Jeep.
that's my total my only point. Is it a Jeep? It's fun and it's cheap and it's good, and is it a Jeep?
Well, if we look back to the cars you're talking about, the Wrangler, which was based on the Willys Jeep from the Second World War, right? It was just easy, basic transportation, right? No build quality, no like paint color options, no, just super simple transportation. And Jeep in the past years, we have like the Cherokees, Grand Cherokees. We have the more expensive models that we don't even get here, that I don't even know what are called, but they make the big luxurious ones, like this 3-row stuff. And I think this kind of brings us back to the basics of Jeep, because it's simple, easy transportation.
But can I get it with all-wheel drive, my man? All-wheel drive.
Well, not yet, but it's
not coming. It's not coming.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah. I talked to a Jeep guy. I said, when will the all-wheel drive come? Jeep has just scratched it.
Well, Jeep, you talk to a salesperson at a dealer. Well, I don't think they're the most reliable source for information.
But he claimed they had gotten information from the local importer, and said they won't come all-wheel drive. And I could accept the Jeep Avenger if it had all-wheel drive as an option, and then all-wheel drive for those that wanted that. But it's not coming. So you have a Jeep without all-wheel drive. You can't some lockable diff. And is it a Jeep without all-wheel drive?
Well, they've been making a lot of Jeeps. I mean, if this is not a Jeep without all-wheel drive, then a Land Rover or Range Rover Evoque isn't a Range Rover, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you think it's bound to the what were the first?
In my head, Jeep has to have all-wheel drive, and one of the cool things about Jeep, you can go off-roading, And you know what the
Well,
wading
you
capacity?
you can do it with this. You can
You know
go
what
off-roading.
the wading capacity of our Jeep Wrangler? How much water you can drive
But
through?
this isn't the Jeep Wrangler. You
Yeah,
can't
but
compare
do
it
you
to
know
a Jeep Wrangler.
it's 76 centimeters.
Yeah.
And this one, 23.
Wading?
20, yeah. You can drive.
Well, that's
through-
because of the battery pack.
Yeah, 23
Yeah.
centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a little puddle.
Well, it's not the same product.
Right, but like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a massive rain shower here in Oslo,
Yeah.
and I drove my S60,
Yeah.
and there was a closed road,
Yeah.
and I had to double back. But
Okay.
there was a pickup coming. In here, yeah, pickup. You know, you just fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
driving.
Sure. Sure.
And
sure.
if I had a Jeep, I would just, oh, I have a Jeep. I will drive through. But this shit, it's not a Jeep. I have to go back like my Volvo S60. This is a Jeep. You have to have all-wheel drive. You have to have serious wading capacity. I don't know. In my head, I'm like old school. Jeep is off-road. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
I understand it.
Can you see this? If Jeep went all out, all-wheel drive, and you can fit a winch. It's a winch in English.
Winch. Yeah. Yeah. It's called a winch.
And a roof rack with
Roof
like
rack. Yeah. Stuff
overlanding
like that.
stuff.
Yeah. Cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, but this thing, you can't have a winch, you can't have a towing hook, or like you can't tow anything. It's zero. And the Volvo
Sure.
EX30 up to 1,600. And this one, zero. Zero.
Towing?
Yeah, towing. You can't
Yeah,
tow
towing.
anything. So it's like a Jeep on stilts. It's like a one-leg Jeep.
Well,
I don't know. Can you see my point? In my
No, I
I'm just
underst-
locked on Jeep.
I understand your point, but I
Yeah.
think you're too narrow-minded.
Yeah.
That's the
Absolutely, yeah.
what's difficult for you here,
Yeah.
and I totally get that. You, as I said earlier in the video, and we don't want to make this like 1 hour, but it's a very interesting conversation that I've waited to have with you before now because I wanted to put this on camera. But yeah, I mean, sure, a Jeep is all of that.
Yeah.
But I think if we go back 10 years, if you go back 5 years, if you go back 20 years, people had ideas of what a Porsche is and a Ferrari,
Yeah.
Lamborghini. But I think as long as the brands, don't do a disservice to, the brands do a disservice to the image, which I don't think this is at all, because it has, for this, I don't think there's any vehicle this small, this cheap, that does anything close to this ground clearance, departure angles, and you don't need four-wheel drive to do off-roading. You could do it with front-wheel drive. I mean, you can do the most serious stuff, but this is never meant. Nobody's ever going to, expect a small, cheap electric Jeep like this. This is more for your bad roads. This is like a European Jeep for small European cities.
Yeah, this is a city car.
Yeah, it's a city car. It's a city Jeep.
Yeah, but it's a generic city car.
Well, I don't think it. Why is it generic?
Because I can't see.
I think it has a lot of character, like in its design, the interior, the way it drives. It feels super solid.
Yeah, but what are the selling points?
Everything I said.
Everything.
All of those things.
Yeah, but what separates this from the Opel Mokka?
Well, ground clearance, departure angles, the rugged looks.
Yeah, the departure angle. Okay, they have.
Sure.
They push the
And
wheels pretty far out.
Yeah, they have. And
Yeah.
just the small, fun Jeep details, like the guy over there with like a telescope and
Small Easter eggs, but
just small Easter eggs. I mean, it's fun. It's a cheap car. I mean, again, if it was twice the price or 50% more expensive, I would totally be like, yeah, sure. But like, there has to be a limit to what you can expect at a certain price point, right? So, just in my opinion, I mean, we disagree here, but I totally understand why you don't think it's a Jeep. But I think it kind of redefines what a small, cheap Jeep can be. I mean, the alternative is that we don't even get. Would you rather they not make this car, or would you rather? Do you think it's nice to have the option to actually?
I don't know. I'm not sure if Jeep. What's the future of Jeep if they don't go into this electric segment? And maybe they should have waited for their own platform that would given them like all-wheel drive and lockable diffs and like the full overland style. But
Well,
maybe that segment are
Sure.
too narrow that they can't survive on just making off-road cars.
Well, I think it's a price point because we just got the new E3008, right? Did you see that? That's the brand new platform. That's going to get four-wheel drive. So the bigger version, right? So we're probably going to get a bigger Jeep electric with four-wheel drive. But I think this platform is just like front-wheel drive, right?
But is this an old platform? It's like, are
Is
Jeep
this
late
old?
to the are Jeep late to the party, or just had to make this in a hurry?
I don't think they had to make it in a hurry because nothing here feels rushed.
Okay.
I just think somebody had an idea, part of Stellantis group now. They have the opportunity to make this, and it's going to have some limitations, but it's also going to be at a price point which a lot of people like. If seriously, like at this price point, if I was looking to spend this, we're looking at the Smart #1, which is more expensive. We're looking at the Volvo EX30, which is also cheaper, but this car comes, in 3 trims, and it's basically optioned up at those trims, right?
Yeah, but Volvo EX30 comes in a cross-country version.
Well, not yet. It's just a concept.
No, it's coming next year.
Well,
cross-country, and that will probably have front rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive.
Okay, sure, but let me just pause you there because we both know, because this is what we do for a living, that these cars that you say are coming next year are already delayed, right? So we're sitting in a car here that's been on the market for a few. So I don't think it's completely fair, because realistically, the EX30 is 6 to 8 months out in its base form, and it's probably going to take another year, realistically. So we're talking.
We're talking about Q3,
almost
24.
like Q3 24. We're talking
because they will start delivery of the regular EX30 in Q2 next year.
Yeah, that's 24. It's next year. Yeah.
Cool.
So we're not going to get a cost-country version like a month later. We're going to get
like
that
6 months later.
No, I don't think so. I do not believe that at all.
Maybe.
Well,
I'm optimistic.
You're too optimistic, but if we look at what's been happening in the past years with these Volvos, we know that they're far out.
Yeah, but I think the cross-country, they have like the overland look with the roof rack, towing capacity, and that puts this in a little awkward position.
No, because that car's going to be so much more expensive. That car's going to be 10,000 euros.
Yeah, but
100,000.
Jeep could price it also 10,000 more.
Not for this.
They could have
if
the
it
Avenger.
had the stuff, sure.
They have the Avenger in this form, and then they had the all-wheel drive, the rugged look. I think Jeep could price it, that one, even more, and people would buy it. The die-hard Jeep fans.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
This is called Avenger Summit. This is the Summit trim level, I think.
No, I don't.
Wasn't
this
the
the Summit? I don't know.
I thought you said it was
no,
a top.
They don't tell. They didn't tell me which this was. Okay. I don't know. I actually don't know.
If this is the Summit, what kind of Summit would you reach with this front-wheel drive thing?
The Summit of Paris. The Summit of Rome. The Summit of London.
The cobblestones in a little city.
Yeah.
That's the summit you reach. But okay, I just have to move over for this hungry ass Audi.
So, yeah, I think we should, park up and do a conclusion.
Yeah, man.
Okay? So, Christian, we've now driven the Jeep far off-road, as you guys can see. I mean, to come to this, like, out in the middle of nowhere where we are now, just don't mind the benches in the background and the other stuff that you may see or may not see. We're actually very far off-road on one of the most extreme off-road trails in Scandinavia.
At least that this one will reach.
So, I mean, we still disagree, but I would like to believe that maybe you've slightly, just a little bit, changed your perspective and thoughts on this car?
No. I'm too hung up in the old stuff, the history, the brand loyalty, Jeep off-road. But it's a good car to drive. The interior feels nice, and the design are subjective either way. But I'm too hung up that it has to have all-wheel drive. So I hope that Jeep will change their mind and fix an all-wheel drive solution for those that want that.
Okay.
But as a city car, this is probably good.
Yeah.
And at least when we think about its competitors. Maybe this is, yeah, I don't know. I haven't driven the competitors, but
No,
you
no.
have?
Well, I've driven some of them,
yeah.
and like I would rather have this car existing because if I were to purchase a car at this price point, this is actually quite high on my list. It doesn't offer the best range, not the best performance, but I think as a package, it's a fun, cool package. I like the way it looks, and also has like the best ground clearance. It's like it doesn't have four-wheel drive, and you don't need that to do off-roading. It's not meant to do hard off-roading, but this is probably the most capable small electric car if you were to take it off the road. So again, I don't want to make this video way too long, but if you guys liked this type of content, me and Christian, you know, just a little bit of, I don't know, just run and gun and more of a conversation and a discussion and a fight about cars, we can probably find a whole bunch of cars to disagree on in the future because I think we do disagree on a lot of stuff, and that's fun. I enjoy these videos, so if you guys do, please be sure to subscribe and also hit that like button down below. So thanks a lot, Christian,
No worries, man.
for joining me for this new type of video format here on the channel where we do a little bit of different stuff. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.